When Jesus came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, he went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day, as was his custom. He stood up to read, and the scroll of the prophet Isaiah was given to him. He unrolled the scroll and found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to let the oppressed go free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favour." And he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of all in the synagogue were fixed on him. Then he began to say to them, "Today this scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing." All spoke well of him and were amazed at the gracious words that came from his mouth. They said, Is not this Joseph's son?" He said to them, "Doubtless you will quote me to this proverb, 'Doctor, cure yourself.' And you will say, 'Do here also in your hometown the things that we have heard you did at Capernaum.' And he said, 'Truly I tell you, no prophet is accepted in the prophet's hometown.'"
Have you ever read a book and really enjoyed it? The characters are alive in your head. You know how they look and how they sound. Then you hear a Hollywood studio has bought the rights to this book and cast some big stars in the main roles. You go to the cinema to watch it, and it usually goes one of two ways. What on earth have they done that was nothing like the book? Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. Or, that was great, Colin Firth is the perfect Mr. Darcy. And I wasn't originally thinking of Pride and Prejudice, I was thinking of Bridget Jones's Diary, but both work. So the people at the synagogue in Nazareth, we heard about in this morning's reading, are coming face to face with somebody they are very familiar with. Someone who has been talked of for generations, someone who was featured in scripture and in teachings, yet someone they know as a neighbour and friend. What did they expect? An emperor type full of his own importance with an entourage of support? Do you think they were disappointed? The Messiah, the Son of God, is Joe from down the tracks, boy. Luke certainly didn't imply this. They spoke well of him. They were amazed. I'm sure that if you asked 100 people, Christians or not, to describe Jesus, most would come up with a similar description. And right now in your head, you've probably conjured an image of him. I feel a bit mind reader magician here. However, what Jesus looks like, and which actor portrayed him the best, Paul Nicholas in my opinion, doesn't matter. In his word, it is his words, his teaching, and his love for us that we celebrate and share. Most of our homes have at least one Bible, or access to the text electronically. I asked, "Alexa, quote the Bible," and she replied with, "God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers." And then secondly, "He that is without sin among you, let him first cast the stone." We know the famous lines like that, and so many of the stories from in the beginning, through the Old Testament prophets, Proverbs, the Gospels featuring nativity and crucifixion, and many more stories in between. As Christians, we are called to spread God's word across the nations. But I believe first we should learn to appreciate how his message can positively impact on our own lives. How the Bible can support us in all ways and at different times in life. If we have a favourite passage, we should share it with someone. If we need help understanding what the writer meant, we should ask. The Bible Society sum it up well, and I can imagine their tagline in the voice of the film announcer. You know the guy with his distinct voice, "Coming soon to a cinema near you." The Bible Society's tagline, "We believe when people engage with the Bible, lives can change for good."